Hey everyone, it's time for another episode of Bible Q&A. Today we're discussing, do spirits run governments? Yes. All these so-called sovereign nations are really ruled by beings above. As it was said in Proverbs, the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord, as the rivers of water. He turneth it whithersoever he will. Proverbs chapter 21 verse 1. They don't tell politicians every single law that should be written, but they can influence the people who write them. For example, in 1 Kings chapter 12 verses 1 to 15, God made Jeroboam accept the advice of his peers rather than the elders, antagonizing the people of Israel and splitting the kingdom. That way, God's prophecy against Solomon could be fulfilled. Also, God made Assyria attack Israel in Isaiah chapter 10 verse 5 so their leaders could pay for abusing their citizens, but then also caused them to later support Israel's efforts to rebuild the temple in Ezra chapter 6 verse 22. However, God isn't the only one who can control governments. In fact, right now, it is Satan who is controlling the nations of the world. Revelation said, "And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand, or in their foreheads. And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name." Revelation chapter 13 verses 16 and 17. Under Satan's leadership, countries are gradually abandoning spirituality and embracing secularity, and the spiritual institutions that remain are becoming greedy and corrupt, according to Jeremiah chapter 23. They are the principalities and powers mentioned in Ephesians chapter 6 verse 12. Thankfully, God has a plan to retake control of the world. It involves Jesus Christ, who is called the King of Kings in Revelation chapter 19 verse 16, because all countries will eventually submit to him. He could have simply inherited Satan's empires by accepting his offer in Matthew chapter 4 verses 8 to 9, but instead he decided to stay loyal to his Father and destroy the devil's wicked institutions. Now, Christ isn't going to go and conquer nations physically. The only person he's fighting is Satan, according to Revelation chapter 12 verse 7. However, the fighting in heaven will cause trouble on earth, which will ultimately weaken every country. Jesus said in Matthew, "For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines, and pestilences, and earthquakes in divers places." Matthew chapter 24 verse 7. Christ can then take advantage of their fragility, according to Revelation chapter 19 verse 15. Thus, my advice is that we don't trust leaders for help when things get dire. Not only do they not have real power, but also, even if they did have power, they'll eventually all disappear. As the psalmist said, "Put not your trust in princes, nor in the Son of Man, in whom there is no help. His breath goeth forth, he returneth to his earth. In that very day his thoughts perish." Psalms chapter 146 verses 3 to 4. Rather, we should trust in spirits who live forever, according to Daniel chapter 7 verse 18. Because with their help, we can live forever too. And that is where I'm going to stop with this Bible Q&A. Do spirits run governments? Yes. Although the world is currently being run by Satan and things will only change when Christ has finished conquering the forces of evil. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe.